Hello, everybody! I'm British Manakyn, welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing today? Hello, bloody plonker! I've been learning my British slang. How are you guys? Hello, Archeron! Hello, Pikmin! Hello, Bowser! Hello, Randy! Congratulations being done with finals. Wow, that was fast. It's only Tuesday. I guess you had some early finals. Congratulations! Hello, Penguin! Hello, Celestial! Hello, Kiyoma! Hello, Rainbow! How are you guys doing? Hello, Fagit Monkey! It's been a while since I've seen you on the stream. Hello, welcome back. Yeah, today we will be playing some Ace Attorney Chronicles. There's no attorney at the moment because we're at sea and our best friend is dead. And there's a cute little Russian girl in the cabin next door, and I suspect she is a murderer. Tea with the queen. Oh, tea with the queen and biscuits and crumpets and bangers and mash and mosh? Bangers and mash and bloody wankers. Anyway, today we will be playing some Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let's play some Ace Attorney Chronicles. Tell me how your day has been, everyone. I hope it's been well. Today's been a very lazy day for me. I'm setting up right now. Give me a moment, but today's been a very lazy day for me. I mostly took naps. Make Edgeworth be the narrator since he's the token British man. Applied for jobs! Oh, where did you apply? If you like to tell us, you don't have to if you don't want to. But I hope your applications go well. I hope you get lots of interviews. I hope those interviews turn into jobs. Your day has been calming, didn't really do anything, but it wasn't boring. You know, that's always nice when you can do nothing. Doing nothing is very nice. Just some retail stores, and thank you. Yes, hopefully you get nice jobs, make a lot of money, and once you make a lot of money, you can... I'll send you my P.O. box so you can donate half your income to me. I do 50% tax. No, please don't waste your money on me. No, do not waste your money on me. Anyway. You work hard for your money. For your money. Money. You work hard for your money. Don't waste it on me. Waste it on yourself. If you're going to waste your money, waste it on yourself. Alright, if you all remember, the ship just stopped. And after the ship stopped, people are coming in and we are about to expose who the killer of our best friend Kazuma is. Will I be doing the accent the whole stream? Well, I'll be switching to American for Naruhodo, even though Naruhodo... Oh, by the way, I listened to one of my commenters posted who the voice actor for Naruhodo is, and it was actually a Japanese man who grew up in England or London. So that was really interesting to me. So he speaks with the British, but he sometimes talks with his doesn't complete his consonants. It's such an interesting accent. So he has some aspect of British, but he also has some aspect of the Japanese. It's so crazy. I've been trying to mimic that accent. It is like I have never heard that accent before, but like the moment I heard it, I was like, dang, this is what a Japanese guy who grew up in Britain would sound like. I was like, this is like an accent, but at the same time, I've never heard that accent before, so it's actually insane. So props to the voice actor. Actually, Not props to the voice actor, because the voice actor didn't really put on an accent. He was just probably talking with his normal accent. 9th of January, SS Burya, Miss Pavlova's cabin. Somehow, the door to the cabin where we ended up bolted after we... The door to the cabin where we ended up Somehow the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made... See, how can I do accents when I can't even read basic English? Susato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. Ew! What are you doing in Miss Pavlova's court? Again, to all my Russian friends there, I apologize. Nah! Oh, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine. Thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship, and my god, Biff Stroganoff has some pretty hairy arms. God dang, let's get him a razor. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. How did that happen? Susato gently unbolts the... Dang it! Get out of here. There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship. The person obviously triggered an alarm. That's why we made it... I mean, it's better to stop the ship than to risk crashing, I suppose. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming, crew are running everywhere. This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean... Someone pressed the button outside? Well, I mean, one of them. You wicked intruder! All dressed in black, you are the devil! Sorry. Me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. Wait. Remind me. Okay, I need to... She's a ballerina, is that right? Okay. So, as you can see, Nikolina Pavlova is an English gentleman. I freaking love her. How did she get her nose that big? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. That's her. That's her with glass. Wait, does she have one of those funny glasses with the nose? Absolutely, Celestial. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the old streams. Feel free to comment. Okay, let's see. She's a ballerina who escaped. Right, she's only 15. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Okay. I don't hit women. But Susato? How quickly I turn on women. Inspector! Yes. Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is criminal. It is not enough that he has killed a man. And he is stowaway as well. If Vixen promised not to kill the steel chicken, do you believe? Wait, what? If Vixen? You mean like if a fox? What? Take him away! He is trespasser as well as everything else. I was gonna adopt her. And now she's going back to the orphanage. Stow away, trespass, kill. She is right, you are devil. Doesn't look good, does it? There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. We give you straight to police. what are the relationships between China and Japan right now? Well, around this time, the British are going to be colonizing China as well. I'm just thinking, Hong Kong was released to the British in what? 1897, I think? So Hong Kong was under British rule. So it hasn't happened yet. But, I mean, who didn't the British colonize? That is a very fair assessment. Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hosanaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to Captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Sherlock Holmes! We need you! Immediately! What are you doing? What the? What are you doing up there? He's just hanging out. I hate it. I hate it here. What the fuck did you? I give up. I give up. I give up. Mr. Sholmes? Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? Oh, this isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. He's a pretty princess, god damn it. Well, why were you hanging from that hook? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall so full of brag and bounce. Oh, come at me! Come off it, you muppet! Oh, bloody plonker! I never know when to take this man seriously or not. You again! The great detective! Ah, Inspector. I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than the hook on the wall. What is to report? Speak! An urgent report from the great detective can mean but one thing. Yes! The case of the curious murder that took place last night, here on this vessel, the steamship Burya, has been solved. By me, naturally. Oh no! What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all of the possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Is this going to be one of his, like, awful deductions again? Please don't. Please don't. You've done enough damage. Can we get the tiara back? Yep, Sherlock Holmes is in this game, and he's an idiot. No, stop. Stop! Ha! You have solved it. Even Hedgehog understand this case. We all know who was responsible for killing Student Boy. We found criminal in wardrobe. It is stolen. He has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it! The trouble is, there doesn't appear to have be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because as everyone knows, cabin door shut from inside. We have solved that! Herlock's the best troll. You can deduce. He just uses his magic spell. Well, after I use my magic wand, here is the answer. And everyone's like, oh, amazing. It means culprit must be someone who inside cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective. You know what's funny enough? This is not a locked room mystery. Because the room was actually not locked. Locked room, that is point. The room was locked. I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are all quite mistaken. You are all. That's a strange phrase. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. Oh no. Am I as dumb as Herlock? No. No, I can't agree with this man. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. Oh, thank God, he's still stupid. I'm not as dumb as him. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why? It gapes open-mouthed. It gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator, man! The ventilator! Ha ha ha! You think this funny? I cannot even put arms through that hole. That's because you dummy thick, boy. You suggesting that the culprit entered and left victim cabin by tiny opening. It is not possible. Haha, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Oh. Looks like some cute Russian girl is starting to sweat. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? Excuse me. 123. I can hear faint whistling. 135. Speckled band. Is the speckled band an actual Sherlock Holmes story? Precisely, my dear madam. He called me a madam. Oh my God. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Oh, come off it, Naruhodo! Come at me! Ha ha! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not. I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all is to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! What the? Oh, the snake! We found a pet. Excuse me. Allow me to introduce to you all to the band. The speckled band. A snake? Indubitably. Why am I here? Just to suffer. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled. It's a striped band. Looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I think in this case you have to call it the striped band. What did you say? I mean, people don't have to perfectly write things down, I guess. Oh, you both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think this is precisely the trap to which the culprit wishes you to fall? My goodness, really? It's a trap? Oh my god, he's so amazing. He saw through the trap. How exactly? I think perhaps. Perhaps or perhaps? Hold on. Cambridge. I think I've asked this before. Perhaps. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death is nothing to do with me. The whole thing is nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one. Last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Sholmes must be right. He hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asogi. Looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. How is he not dead? Like, how is he not dead right now? I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. The game is afoot. The streamer is so disappointed right now. Topic 1. The intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. Okay, but he's kind of cool. His death has nothing to do with me. The whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet, you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smears with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Portentous? Why, naturally, it was the friend which you boarded this vessel with, was it not? Ha ha! As I suspected. Another telltale glance. Without a doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we have seen before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. Look at that. Wait, he doesn't even have teeth. It's like a baby snake. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of that of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit the description in any way. What explanation can we give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? Oh, what is she hiding? What is she hiding?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does! You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. That which you are trying, but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sloth's skit. Huh? Huh? Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin, no?
I don't know what you are talking about.
Neither do I, honestly. What? Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light? In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. What? Does such a snake exist? A snake so dreadful. We can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Indians out there, tell me, does a snake exist? I have never heard of such a snake. An Indian snake? How Mr. Asoki died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life? And why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom! Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine there remains evidence to affirm that it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could that be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There is no point in feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. Glance. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case! When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside. No doubt!
You don't...
It is telling that the victim made a note of low whistling sounds that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend.
Train?
Indeed. You'd put the serpent through the ventilator and wait. You couldn't have known if the animal had done its duty. So, you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you release your snake once more. Do you deny this snake has undergone such training?
It is not true!
Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only sink his fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt my logic is infallible. Thank you! Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Elementary. What? Oh, thank God I'm not the only one who thinks he's an idiot! Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. Saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Training is the key to training any creature. Damn, bro, you got the whole squad laughing. Incredible. No! Ryunosuke, no! Snakes don't drink milk! Amazing! You're great to— No! 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 Now I see why Herlock Sholmes has become a— My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. The Russians don't say that. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? You know what they say, Susato. Never meet your heroes. It shows how easily Manakyn could replace her. That's the worst sentence I've ever heard in my life. What's on your mind? It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't make sense. I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madam. And reptiles, don't drink milk. It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see? So, I'm not sure it'd be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. So I'm not sure it'd be possible to signal a snake by whistling. But, madame, what of the tales of Arabia? No. No. No, does he not know how snake charmers work? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh, something in my throat. Excuse me. No hands, no feet, and no ears! These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless! Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Scholes. There's one other thing. You have more! Snakes use the scales of their bellies to propel themselves. So I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins. Then it should try harder! Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine that the snake... Then where did the snake come from? Where did we find the snake? Is there just a random snake hanging out with us? Oh, poor Herlock. It's okay. You tried your best. You tried your best. Can we give him like an A? No, like a B+ for effort. He's an idiot. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo, and let him take the credit. Oh, you know, man. We need to modify Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. No, stop. All right, let's give it a try. I hate my life. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, right. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? How nice of you. Your cuffs are gone. Where's it to go? Fear not. I shall see they're restored after our work is... Wait. I shall see they're restored after our work. After our work is done. I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular! Edited by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Look at this poor Russian girl! How feeble! How pathetic! Oh! She's trying to say I'm not the murderer. But she is! You monster! Look at her. 6 feet, 6'2". She does have a pained expression on her face. That's true. She looks as though Kazuma's death is weighing on her mind. But you're not sure Sholmes has read her quite correctly, right? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment and really look closely at Miss Pavlova. I feel kind of uncomfortable doing this. Like, can you imagine, like, while Sholmes is going, well, as you can see, it's very obvious. And then Ryunosuke just walks up to Pavlova and go, okay, let me move her hair a little bit. Nope, it's not under her ear. Alright, give me your hand, give me your hand. Nope, it's not this fingernail. Oh, that was fast. Oh, she has a cat! She has a cat! She has a cat! It was a cat! Look! Also, wait, hold on. Midriffs are back in session and back in. Biff, looking good. Oh, Naruhodo-san, look! Looks like a very painful wound. It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. Fairly recent, too. Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here.
Yes!
Hello, I'm British Ryunosuke. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Haha! Good job, Japanese-British man. And a simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch? Sometime last night.
Ah! When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. When I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse.
And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. Oh, also, I discovered that scratch all by myself. Dang it, Sholmes! So we ask, what is the nature of this intruder that's stolen into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded the vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected. Another telltale glance. Without a doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent. Do snakes have claws? Except snakes don't have claws. I answered my own question. No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet, which claws might grow. Well, they're kind of useless creatures. Sholmes is kind of right. If that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer. It was Seaman Stroganoff! There's no doubt, is there? She looked in this direction. Straight at Seaman Stroganoff! He's the... Well, they do seem to be friends of sorts. But I can't imagine how he'd possibly fit through the ventilator. Don't forget that I managed to fit inside Cosmo's trunk! I would ask what that proves, but I think an equivocal smile would be more effective. Haha. There it is. Oh! Oh! Oh, the bell! The bell! Oh! 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 Do you guys remember the bell? Do you guys remember the bell? Do you guys remember it? Look at the photograph in this frame. Must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? She's all right. And you know, I don't really have a thing for murderers. But personally, it's the little black creature that she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we better take a closer look.
Yes!
I'm British Ryunosuke. Without a doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear.
Oh no!
The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you?
Ah! Taka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind.
Oh, I hate this! I know it was probably an accident, which hurts my heart. Oh! This is so painful! I told you guys, I have a thing for children. I just want to protect them. This hurts, man. This hurts so bad. I hope she doesn't go to jail or anything. Taka would appear to be a Russian blue. But it's black. I guess it's a black and white picture. It could be blue. Blue cat. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit the description. Was the cat the speckled band, everyone? What explanation can we give, pray tell? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary, even now hidden behind your back. Yes! You are hiding, trying but failing to conceal the snakeskin.
Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back.
If she just left it in her pocket, no one would ever have known.
Oh, yeah. Ploys like that are Mr. Sholm's specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something.
No, I thought deduction was his specialty.
I think faking is his specialty. Or maybe PR.
Anyway, I find it hard to believe that that's a skin of a snake. Oh, it's a cat toy! Okay. I'm putting things together. Okay. So. What happened is this. The kitty cat ran away, or maybe it like ran into cats can climb, right? Cats are good at climbing, right? The cat maybe climbed and went into the ventilator and went into Kazuma's room. We know that some aspect of the cat was in the room because the bell is in Kazuma's room, right? Or part of the bell was broken in Kazuma's room. But there was a whistling, right? Maybe she was trying to get the cat to come back. And then, so she's like, hey, here kitty, doing the toy, right? Right? I love cats, but I don't know enough about raising them. Like, if you wiggle the toy in front of them, they usually come, right? Maybe she's trying to get the cat to come back to her room. And then, during that time, Kazuma's like, oh, a cat toy! And ran over to the cat toy, and then slipped on the cat. Wait, does that mean the cat is dead? No, the cat is alive. We know the cat's alive because it was moving around inside the suitcase.
In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back?
It was the newspaper! Would she just let us walk around her and find it? Well, it's speckled and a band, but what is it? Seems to be soft. Kazuma died. I think Kazuma died from Kitty. I legitimately think Kazuma died from Kitty, which is so freaking sad. Because it was probably an accident, too. Long piece of cloth. That looks like a handle at one end.
I think it may be a cat's toy.
This sort is common in the West, apparently. Right, they have cats in, Japan, right? I wonder what type of toys they play with. How is that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it. I did that with Kazuma all the time. That sounds positively adorable. Gotcha.
Yes!
Yes! The thing you are trying but failing to conceal is, a cat toy? Precisely! And I discovered that all on my own. Ah, Sholmes! And the true nature of the now infamous speckled badge. It was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. Oh, you waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, my dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. A truly troublesome feline young Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. Oh, now we got the photo?
It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty.
Moving on, we've come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data, of which I have been apprised, it would appear there are no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by terrible venom, which was administered by the cat! What Mr. Sholmes says is true. There were no signs of a wound. That's right. Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. It wasn't poisoned. It would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing. Post-mortem report?
Yes!
I need to learn how to do that. Alright. Snap and then point. Oh, that was good. That was good. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah, yes. I knew it was one or the other. In fact, I figured that out all on my own. Ah, Schultz!
His neck was.
Indeed! The breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Seaman Stroganoff isn't some immortal freak, you know. The jury is out. God damn, Schultz! Don't do my boy Biff like that! What the frick? Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take this as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no! Could that be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone.
It's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found.
Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal a fatal blow.
I suppose. It's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. Could have been a terrible act of misfortune that broke his neck.
Completely by accident, they say with smiles on their faces. I love how in these poses they're like, he could have broken his neck completely accidentally. Yeah, it's possible that his neck snapped because he tripped on something. Oh, yes! That fall could explain it. Rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man like you, Naruhodo. Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? Yes! Yes, there is!
Yes!
Yes! An examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. The particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish.
Shoe polish?
Indeed! Positively identified by me. And a little analysis device I constructed, which I now carry as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's laced leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caught his foot at the point on the floor and tripped.
Please, no!
And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life.
No! I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? Ooh. Yeah. What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right! You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case! Wait, Herlock was almost right. No! You stop that! You do not give credit to Herlock. Get out!
I don't believe it. Kazuma merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept.
It wasn't just a trip. He tripped by trying not to step on the cat. Probably that's what happened. Like, he saw a cat there and had to take an awkward step, and then as a result, he stepped on the cat's bell, which was round, and probably caused him to slip and fall. And that's really sad. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened.
But
And if this part of Mr. Sholm's deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin. Somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Let's have a good look around. The answer must be somewhere. Okay, let's see here. Tiara. Let's check the desk. That's the tiara. What about inside the traveling case? What did he hit himself on? I'm not sure. I mean, for example, look at this chair right here, right? Here. This chair has like a back like this, right? If I fell and like fell like this, like I could easily, like here, like you see this chair, like if I fell and like I fell like this or maybe backwards, I fell like this onto it. It's reasonable to see someone dying like that. Like, there are other possibilities, but I mean, I think it's reasonable to think that if there was like something popping out, like a chair or a desk or a table, or maybe like even like a stack of books that like hit his neck awkwardly, it's very possible. This is where Miss Pavlova hit her friend. That's right. And it wasn't a snake after all. No, it was that little kitten she calls Darka. Not that it's anywhere to be seen. Seems to have let itself out of the case and gone exploring. Really can be easy to die through neck trauma. Yeah, please be careful, guys. I expect it's wrapped itself around someone's head somewhere, trying to make a new friend. Either that or scratching their hand to pieces. The point is, where has it gone to? So it's not there. Oh, there's a trash can over here. How about this port? No? What's in here? This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps all the first-class cabins have one. But Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably, there's not much rubbish in there. Oh! It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you. I read that really weird. More than your mind playing tricks on you. I read that weird, sorry.
yes!
That's right! You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket.
Ah!
Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact. Herlock, stop stealing my thunder. We found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Asogi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. See, I'm smart.
Oh no!
So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which is evidently broken at the scene of the crime of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin?
Kya!
You're well acquainted with the glass bell, are you not?
I don't.
I don't know. In that hushed Russian accent of yours. Oh, that won't save you, dear girl. Why? Because I am a monster, and I like making women cry. Also, we have evidence. What? Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell. That would be...
Yes!
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, the very glass bell in question. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova! The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that faithful stumble... Oh, spin with me, Naruhodo. Your absent feline friend, Darker! They're so cool! I hate it. They're so cool, but also so dumb.
I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry.
Elementary, my good Naruhodo. Given they refer to Kazuma's death as a cervical fracture, leads you to think was a Jefferson fracture or a hangman fracture. I have no idea what those things are, but I'll say, yeah, that's right. That's it. That's definitely it. You see, my medical knowledge is top notch, and Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night.
It was little after 1 in the morning. So late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darker. So I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands.
People say cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments.
She was so fast. She disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her.
And that is how you acquired your rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it?
Yes. And I had read the rules on the wall. I knew I was not allowed Darker with me.
Yes. Modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious disease. It is do you know what? Who else can carry infectious disease? Humans? Then again, humans are much more likely to take care of their grooming than animals are, because, well, unless the owner takes very, very good care of grooming, like fleas and stuff like that. Like, so for example, if the cat or the dog or something had fleas and they transfer it over, you can have an entire endemic of fleas in a completely new location, and they don't have like natural predator invasive species, long story short.
So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in next cabin.
I mean, you could just knock on the door. I mean, I guess it was 1 in the morning. That would be a little bit ridiculous. In an emergency situation, I would knock on the door. I would rather have a pissed off, sleepy neighbor than a possibly dead cat. And in this case, a dead human.
It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must have been sleeping.
So at that point, you thought it was safe to try and lure the kitten back again. By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin.
Darker always loved this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried to use her favorite toy while I tried whistling softly, but she didn't return.
So the faint whistling Kazuma wrote about was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened.
Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she calmed down. But then... I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out, and then it was a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent.
Kazuma was... I realize she's slowly becoming German. How did you get your cat back? From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems that what you heard was victims stepping on glass bell and tripping. The SS Boya is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Miss Asogi was already off balance as the result of a ship, when Kitten got under feet, a combination of unfortunate factor could have caused him to fall over. Oh, Susato's pissed. But what became of Kitten afterwards?
In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the vent.
Liar! Liar! Where's the court record? That does not explain why he wrote in Russian. She's lying. She's lying. Which means if someone wants to lie and essentially confess that they accidentally killed, I mean, it's their cat, but functionally it's them, so. If they want to confess that they accidentally killed him, they're hiding the fact that that it was probably much more intentional. Either she intended to, or she was much more involved in the murder, but she's a liar. She's 100% a liar. If she said something like he tripped and so I went over and I opened the door and the door was unlocked, and then I got the cat and I rearranged everything because I was afraid, then that still doesn't explain how she would have known Naruhodo was in the room, right? Because writing this in Russian, which says wardrobe, is very intentionally means she knows that there is someone in the room. Which means she was in the room at that. At some point, she was inside their room. I believe. I believe at this point, I can now... I don't know how she killed Asogi or Kazuma. Somehow this, like, 5'1" girl beat up my 6'8" big strong man. I don't know how tall he actually is, but somehow she did it, man. My Russian voice, my Hosonaga voice strikes me more as more Russian. Is Japanese and Russian closely related? Maybe. Yet Daka is nowhere to be seen.
I must have forgotten to lock my case. Now she's disappeared again.
Oh, gracious. That cat is as insufferably restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself, at least.
When I woke this morning, I heard a young man in cabin next to mine had died. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back.
Oh, she's pissed, man. Oh, frick. I cannot condone the Susato takedown right now. Even though she is a perpetrator, and I still don't know how she killed Kazuma. She is also... I don't know if the murder was intentional. I still would like to think it's accidental. But she is a victim of destitute poverty and child abuse, so... How much can I condone the Susato takedown? I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh, well, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right! Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, whose is it? Where did it come from? What? It's his snake! What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing aboard the ship? Oh, didn't I say? Snake is my friend. His name is Peroski. What? How do you pronounce that? Peroski? It's like a food, right? His name is Peroski. What? That snake belongs to you? He escaped from cage when emergency alarm sound. I look for him. I did not expect to find him here. Yeah, how did the snake get in his cabin? But animals not permitted on board. Ha! We are at sea for 1 year. You want me to be so long without close friend, without someone who understands? Couldn't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? I mean, I don't know. Do we let this pass? Poor dude's like alone for a year. But my dear burly fellow, haha, a gargantuan venomous snake. Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. No venom. Peroski does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, but very gentle. He is like adorable granny. It's venomless. Yes, now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, you see big smile. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ha! Like they say, milk chicken. Snake drink milk only in stupid story. Peroski eat mouse. Big fat round mouse. At least they got pest control. How do snakes poop? Huh, I never thought about that. How do snakes poop? Snakes don't have butts, right? How do... I need to Google this later. Oh, so... Is that what the mousetrap in the passageway is for? Of course! How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? I mean, wouldn't he eat them live? Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. You good, Sholmes? You okay, Sholmes? It refuses to drink milk. Can't hear a whistle. Can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role? It's not my fault. I do not make up story. My Peroski has nothing to do with incident. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. No, it's not. We're not done yet. Row. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Pavlova, what was her name? Nikolina, Nico. Or do we call her Nico or Nikolina? Oh, Nikolina. Tell the truth. Come on. Miss Pavlova? I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize.
But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I can't forgive you.
Get him, Susanoo! Come on! Take down! Take down! What are you talking about, Miss Mikotoba? What lie? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It was a series of unfortunate events. Accident.
I'm no great detective like Mr.
Trust me, you are way better than Mr. Shaw.
I have no gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story. I'm sure of it. I just can't put my finger on it. I confess. I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh! I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction. No one asked you to be here. You can leave. You can go. The door's that way. Leave. Goodbye. Later. A distraction? I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. What the? Why did he do that? Especially as they're on your wrist as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call. You were Mr. Shaw. Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours, was he not?
Kazuma was my closest friend. I owed my freedom to him.
In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story. I'm sure of it. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. About how that scene in your cabin really came to be. Why is Kazuma so cool? All right, I'll see what I can do. Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo.
So then, shall we begin? Yes! What should we ponder first? Is the victim who lost his life in the cabin that was bolted shut from the inside? Was this a truly unfortunate accident? Or was it, in fact, no accident at all? That is what we must establish in this first instance. But we've already established this, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten that had climbed into the cabin via ventilator. Tragic, but still accident. Wait, let's just take a step back. Doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it. I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. It's starting to take shape. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story. The evidence is right there in Kazuma's cabin. It's undeniable! His death couldn't possibly be a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence! The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident.
Yes!
The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. There's no way Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. That script, it's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese in this case. I doubt he knew any Russian.
But maybe he was studying Russian.
Oh, I see little girl here starting to sweat. Oh, not your sweat glands going off.
It is simple language. He could have picked up very fast.
Russian is not a simple language. That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether or not he knew Russian. Sorry, what do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There's no way Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Instant death. Huh. Which means after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't have possibly written anything. Because he was already dead!
That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Asogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there if what Miss Pavlova told us was true.
What? So Susato's noticed it too then. Putting the message on the floor aside, there's something else that gives away the truth. Another piece of evidence that proves it was an accident. It was no accident. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. What appears to be a speckled band, not necessarily. No, that doesn't necessarily contradict it. But are they talking about the ship's record? The fact that there was clearly something going on during this time?
Yes!
What point are you trying to make with that evidence? I'm starting to see how Kazuma's death really happened. I think that you are starting to see nothing of the sort. And that... Listen here, Sholmes! Listen here, Sholmes! I think you an idiot!
If it was no accident, then what we should be looking for is one of two things. The absence of something you expect to see at an accident, or the presence of something you wouldn't.
Most compendiously put, my dear madam. I see. I confess, your rather languid I see doesn't fill me with confidence, Mr. Naruhodo. Listen here, show!
Don't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe in you. Well, more than Mr. Sholmes does.
Starting to take shape. There's something else that gives the truth away. Okay, so there's a few things I can think of. Is it the fact that his hand is clenched? That's a possibility. Remember I told you that if you fail, you try to catch yourself. Okay, let's see. Let me look up some things. Examine this. Strong blow. Damage to the cervical vertebrae, resulting in instant death. Victim's neck was almost certainly broken as a result of a strong blow to the area. That could still be a... Okay, that could still be an accident. That doesn't do anything. Okay, he still put the seal on. The seal can come on and off. That doesn't change the fact of whether or not it was an accident. I think they mean the picture. I don't know exactly what they're trying to get at. I think they mean the fact that Kazuma's hand was clenched.
Yes!
No? Oh my god, am I going to fail? Is this the first Ace Attorney trial I'm going to fail? And it's not even a trial! Let me examine this. Oh, do they mean the fact that the bell was... Oh, of course. They mean what they're trying to reference was the fact that the bell was removed.
Yes!
Think from all angles. I appreciate the help. At the same time, I don't think... Let me think. If I thought from all angles... Unless that was like a double entendre somewhere, I'm not sure if that is... Was that a double entendre? Does the... Anyway, this piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. But, that's the glass bell the kitchen had around his neck. Hosonaga, you were the one who was hinting at the... You know what? Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? I jumped too many steps forward, right? I already mentioned the bell, like, in the previous thing. I already mentioned the bell in, like, the previous analysis thing. So I was like, oh, we must already all know that. But Mr. Sholmes is an idiot. Remember, we gotta go slow because Mr. Sholmes is an idiot. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there's a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. If that's really what happened. Then how did one half of the bell end up back here in this cabin? Is there another possible explanation? I suppose there is some very minute possibility that the cat might have still have had half the bell attached to. It's so minute, but yeah, it's unlikely. I'm just trying to devil's advocate myself right now. Yes, remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in that wastepaper basket. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh no. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asogi died in his cabin last night, there was someone's silhouette in the room. Hell yeah! Okay, I still want to know if he was gripping something. What was he like? I still find the fact that he fell gripping something incredibly unnatural. But I don't, maybe it's just like a unfortunate accident where he was trying to hold on to something. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the... How did she miss half the bell? Hold up. Did she only find half the bell? If I was her, wouldn't I have just thrown away the entire bell? What was the reason for leaving behind half the bell unless she just missed it? Maybe she just missed it. In order to cover up his or her own guilt. Gah! Yes. There was something else President missed. Stop coming up with more evidence, Susanoo!
Hold it!
You're wasting time! Someone else there! Ah, of course, we know this! What are you talking about? Bulkhead was bolted and shut. No way in or out. Oh, yes. And the only other person... Now it's his silhouette!
Yes!
It's true. I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian. There's no way I would have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. Would you mind? I hate him. I love Shobes, but I absolutely hate him. I have never felt this way about a character before. He's great, and I want to punch him in the face. How do I deal with this anger? This... It's a love-hate relationship. As I was saying, Franziska von Karma... No, that's just all love. The person in question wrote the word wardrobe in the Russian on the floor. You know, you could just claim that you don't know Russian. In an attempt to incriminate me for a crime. Then again, if I knew Russian, I would have written keep out in Russian, right? Even though I had been asleep there the entire time. And then, the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor, for fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asogi really died. But why wouldn't this person have taken all pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yeah, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. Dark? Dark. It was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. A single small lamp, suspended from the ceiling, would have barely cast any light onto the floor there. Little wonder, then, that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of a tiny item.
You all suspect me, don't you?
Hold it!
Oh, I feel so bad. I feel really bad, man. Then again, did she actually kill him? Like, if she actually, like, went out of her way to, like, I am big, strong Russian girl. Cha! Is that her dad or something? Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. Is she? Wait, is she actually? Did I just predict that? 2 years ago, they noticed dancing skill and she went away to join ballet company. But before, she was dancer on ship. Member of ship band. Oh, that's why they're trying to take care of her. Because she's a former crewmate? Did they have a band on the ship back then? You not accuse ship angel of being criminal. Excuse me? The ship's angel? Is that why she referred to herself as the angel? I am angel that fall from heaven. So that's it. You say when young student died, Nina was there in cabin. But that's not possible. I give my tooth. Pay up, buddy. Huh. Well, this is most interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How could you be so sure? Huh. You are a great detective. You should know. Look truth in eye. Cabin bulkhead bolted from inside. Nobody go in cabin. Not Nina. Not anyone. Or want to tell me that killer can walk through locked door? Yet, not possible. We've already solved this. Come on, guys. We solved this like 7 streams ago, even though I've only been streaming for like 4 streams. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie a thread around door latches. We discussed this earlier, Susato! Everyone's an idiot! Thread, are you stupid? Bulkhead, not barn door. Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern. How do you say modern? Cambridge Dictionary, here I come. Modern. On any modern steamship, constructed of heavy steel, with not a gap in sight. No threads or needles or magnets could have been used. Wait, no magnet? Oh, because the door is metal too. Wait, electromagnetics. Yeah, the metal would negate the magnet, right? Yeah. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it. Susan, yeah, you're blaming me? How could you? Why does my daughter hate me? So Seaman Stroganoff has valid point. Cabin door could not have been bolted from outside. Not necessarily. But I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of that method I have in mind. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what method I mean, don't you? A way to shut the bolt of the cabin from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes.
Do you really know? Are you really as smart as Mr. Sholmes? Because he's the smartest person in the world!
Yes, please shut up. Because we've seen it happen. Indeed we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Ah, they spell honors with the British spelling. Would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Point out the telling signs of the method that was used to slide the cabin door bolt across from the outside. Wait, it doesn't light up? Well, whatever.
Yes!
Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books on the things have toppled over?
That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop.
Yes, that's right. Very powerful vessel after all. When engines thrown into reverse, violent jolts go across entire ship. Small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. Where does she store that book? Like, how? Like she just sticks it in her sleeve. Does she have like a secret like locking device onto her like?
I believe, yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on objects.
Physics! Is there nothing Susato-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books on the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. Ah! It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. Can I ask you guys, is this how Edgeworth feels all the time? Is this how Edgeworth feels like all the time? I know! The murderer jumped off a 30-story building and did cartwheels and shot a bullet into the air, and then the bullet somersaulted and landed back in his chest, and that's how he died. And Edgeworth is like, maybe he was just shot? It's like Edgeworth has the power of common sense, man. But then... Hello! Is everyone there? Shout if you need assistance!
That sounds like Inspector Hosonaga. Oh, yes. That's it! When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door.
It's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Does that also mean the ship can accidentally unlock by itself? Because that might not be a good thing. Or maybe the outer bolt is tighter so that it's easy to build up the speed to go into the lock, but then it's harder to build up the speed to go out of the lock. I don't know. Or the force of ineptia. What to call? Just when I was praising Ryunosuke for being smart. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asogi was killed? Wait, but if the doors get locked, are they able to unlock it? The SS Boya made another emergency stop! Wait, how do they unlock it? I guess they have to break it down whenever that happens? When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin... Oh, when I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, looked a little odd. All the books in the shelves had toppled over, as well as lots of other things. And all the ornaments. Almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. That was Poseidon.
I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I?
Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing here. All the books. Everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asogi's cabin. Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? They're going next. Alright, I'm going to predict their argument. Next, they're going to say, if there was a stop, somebody would have noticed it, and then my response would have been, wrong, because you drugged us. Are you out of mind? You say Burya made emergency stop. It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly happen? Unless you're saying culprit is actually someone from engine room. Oh, it's simple enough. Are you forgetting the button? Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside, used to trigger the emergency alarm?
Oh, yeah, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you only to press the button in emergency.
On dark nights where the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of the number buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Sholmes? No. Oh! Looking away! Wait! It was you? When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings, and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today. Wait, he pressed the emergency button? He pressed it in the name of science! He was like, I wonder if I can lock these doors from the outside. Let's test this theory. Beep! Of course! Okay, I take it all back. My boy Sholmes is a smart man. He is a brilliant man. I love him. Is this Among Us? It does sound like something he'd do in the name of science. I shall now burn this man alive in the name of science. Oh, so when a man burns, he screams very loudly. Noted. Bill Nye. Let us discuss electrons. Mr. Sholmes? Surely it wasn't you who, as I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion! Yes! I did it! He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship! I report you to captain! You are in so much trouble! Now, I'm sure that all can wait until later. Let's not overlook the fact that we have now learnt a valuable lesson. Whenever the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did the ship make an emergency stop or not? You are idiots! Boya huge ship, many passenger. If we make emergency stop in middle of night, there would be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What kind of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped the vessel last night? Kabam!
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff! It's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship, is that right? Da! Correct. Why? And the ship's log here. That would be where you record the details of your duties. What are you doing with that? That's mine! Haha, you rather carelessly. You rather. Is it rather or rather? Cambridge. Rather. It's rather. You rather carelessly left it atop that little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later. Okay, Sholmes, up top. I left it there on purpose. That's what I always put it. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase nothing to report every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing recorded in the log. Because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, you would write nothing to report, wouldn't you? But there was nothing to report. So why write nothing to report? Then why didn't you write nothing to report? Because there was nothing to report. Indeed. So, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something did happen. Here aboard the SS Burya. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact.
Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
Stop talking rubbish! If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Why? Because if something as major as emergency really happened, surely all of us would have noticed.
That's very true. Thanks to emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, the alarm was so loud. I can't imagine anyone would sleep through that, even if it had happened in the dead of night.
Hold up! Hold up! Do you remember during her lie? During Pavlova, Nikolina's lie. She said, I was sure that they were sleeping, even though Kazuma wasn't sleeping. Why was she so sure that she was sleeping, that everyone was sleeping, right? Right? So the question is, why didn't she just knock on the door? Why didn't she just knock on the door and just say, hey, my cat came in, can you come out? I mean, maybe she was a little bit concerned about breaking the rules, but it's like, if the cat was over there, you have to risk the fact that that person has already sees the cat anyway, right? So the most reasonable thing would just be knock on the door and say, hey, my cat got in, can you give him back to me, right? But she didn't do that. Why didn't she do that? Perhaps the reason why she didn't do that is because she thought that Kazuma would be sleeping. It's like, okay, well, you can wake him up, just knock really loudly. Why didn't she do that? Because she knew, or she thought, that everyone would be under the effects of the sleeping drug! She didn't know that Kazuma doesn't like chicken. What of the throbbing? Sorry? What do you mean? Oh. I'm throbbing so hard right now. Oh, feel that throbbing. Your head, man! The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered it. Oh, yes, I've had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today.
Nor have I. My head's been feeling heavy ever since dawn.
Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right. I'm throbbing too. And since eating dinner yesterday, everything felt sorta hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then, the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe. What did you miss? We're throbbing. And also Kazuma doesn't like chicken. and had those handcuffs put on me. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Hey, Popcorn. This doesn't look like Danganronpa. Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, did you? Oh, yeah, sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So you enjoyed some of that whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yes, in fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? What a loser! That's right. He didn't touch it. Is that relevant? My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Strike you.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken?
I do.
No!
Is that really true? Hey! Ace Detective Manakyn! Bam! The meal prepared for passengers. Passenger or passenger? I know pass is usually pass, but is passenger or passenger? Cambridge Dictionary. Passenger. It's passenger.
Passenger.
What about pass? But it's pass.
Pass.
Damn it, English! Ah! The meal was prepared for the passengers last night, had been tampered with. Depending on the accent, British English. I know, I hate it! Also, how's it going, Sarum? Did I say hi to Popcorn? I'll say hi again. Hello, Popcorn. Just as the founding fathers intended. There are no founding fathers! This is the UK! Tampered with by the addition of a soporific designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. A sleeping drug. Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so that nobody would notice the ship's emergency stop? I don't think it was the emergency stop. I think they did it so they can sneak girl on.
Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea.
Precisely! Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator!
Mr. Sholmes!
I guess Hosonaga isn't really a member of the crew, he's kind of just there to help. Well, Seaman? Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. I laugh. I laugh. Oh, you have electricity. Congratulations. I'm so glad it's back on. I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. You called it? Hell yeah. Oh, also, just totally random, but I saw a few messages earlier, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who is avoiding spoilers. I saw someone who actually specifically said, like, I'm going to try not to spoil, so, no, really, like, thank you. Like, I've become a lot more lenient when it comes to spoilers, because I get that spoiling sometimes happens, but for those of you who are really conscious of it, thank you, because it really makes, the game exciting and stuff, and, I mean, I get that sometimes you guys will let things slip, but like accidentally, but I just want to say thank you for everyone here who's just, you know, hanging out and having fun and letting the people who haven't played, me included, but also other people in the chat, you know, play. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. You know, this is not passive aggressive, guys. This is not, I'm actually 100% serious on this. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. If you refuse to talk, there would be an inquiry made through the shipping company. Of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself would be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade. Wait. Is Sholmes about to bring back villain? This young girl is actually villain Volska!
Please, no more. I will tell everything.
Da!
I cannot make problem like this for everyone anymore.
Oh, I feel so bad! It clearly wasn't intentional. I don't know what exactly she did, but it clearly wasn't intentional. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe.
Yes, so when I decide to run away, I ask them to help me.
Is this actually a thing? Were there like bans on like shipping ship? I guess this isn't a shipping ship. A shipping ship shipping ships? It's not a cargo ship. It's it's a normal ship. Well, I mean, they're passenger stuff, but I can't imagine that these sailors don't do cargo. They probably just like, you know, back in the day, like ships were like multi-purpose. There were rooms to try to send people places, and it's like was like a month and a half to get to UK. So you're going to be on the ship for a while, but they're also probably stopping at ports and hauling cargo and stuff like that. So did they have bands? I guess bands would entertain the passengers while the other guys did. I guess this is for like luxury for the rich. So essentially, Pavlova's been a sideshow for her entire life, which isn't unsurprising, but it's kind of sad, especially being only 15. We all agreed to help everyone together. Oh, man. Man, and they clearly care about her. If she was like an orphan girl and like they took her onto the ship because she was like homeless and like starving, and she said, I want to help by, you know, being part of the band and something. I know I'm making up backstory, but this probably isn't that far off. She threw away everything. Her fame in ballet. Mazaraj. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but Mazaraj. We want to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Hell yeah! I knew it, baby! I remember now. I did notice a lump of something strange and... Oh. Nah. We could not make old drug. How you say? Dissolve. Oh, talk about heavy seasoning. Oh, I'm actually gagging right now. Oh, God. At midnight, water near Shanghai, we brought Angel on board. She was helped by comrade on shore with small fishing boat. While all the passengers of the SS Burya slept soundly, thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. So if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, aka Kazuma, because only one person in this world dislikes chicken, and The newly boarded passenger. That means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how did they know that I was in the wardrobe? Maybe after the thing happened, they opened the door like, hey, look, it's a random dude. Let's blame it on him. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked. There would have been complete chaos. Yeah, it turns out Asogi was the only person, probably the only person besides the crew that was awake at 1 in the morning. Oh, I wouldn't say so. Of course, just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins, after which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yeah. The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway. And so, not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of cabin door on a ship, a single cabin door of the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. I'm so smart. You have talked long time and said many things. What is point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present in the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who had left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the emergency stop in order to lock a door. All told, busy night. But. Hey, Ire, welcome. Kazuma was probably awake to probably make sure no one suspects him having Oh, that's a good point. Maybe he was staying awake just a little bit later so that if somebody came to investigate, he'd be awake and like, hey, there's no one here, see? That's a good point. I am just little girl. You're 15. You're not a kid anymore. I'm 16, Dad. I'm not a kid anymore. You speak like... You like to speak with your long English words and your clever ideas. But I am Sailor. Sailor don't listen to long, boring story. We don't believe. Sailor like me, we only trust what we see with eye. Oh. A laudable trait. What? Laudable. It's a word. I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind. I'm so poetic. What accusatory cry of guilt? I can't believe I like this guy. Sorry, you lost me. Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes. With your eyes. You must hear it with your eyes. For observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come for one final No! for one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please. With, what exactly, Mr. Sholmes? With observation, my dear fellow. Just as I said, of these two prevaricators. Observation?
If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence by tampering with the scene of Mr. Asogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened.
Precisely! You are quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can see. We're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Cosma died? Huh? Oh! 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 Look at this! It's some kind of stain in an unusual place.
Yes, you're right. It looks like ink, if I'm not mistaken.
Ink. And look at the color. What is that?
Yes!
That was random Japanese. Apologies. British Ryunosuke, Seaman Stroganoff. You seem to have quite a large purple stain in the back of your white uniform there. Yes, I don't know where the dirt come from. So, nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain. What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganov's uniform.
And I think what made it is clear.
Indeed it is! Sholmes, get out of here! So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright then. The evidence that proves what the stain is... Do we have the ink bottle? I guess not, but we do have this.
Yes!
Wait. Come on, you got this. Yes! It's this photograph, and the ink shows it. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink! A rather unusual color of ink. Purple. Ah! Ah, the penny drops at last. At last. Now you see the significance. Oh. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of the exact same color. If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilt. Mother Russia saved me. Alright. Yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in Dead Student cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed button to make Buryard do emergency stop and bolt the cabin door shut. You should have just written the dying message in English, unless they don't know English. No, they must know English because they're talking to what's his name? They're talking. They're speaking to each other. They must know English. Wait, how does this game work in Japanese? I did everything so no one would suspect our angel.
Beef, please.
Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I'm on duty, patrol passageway. Then Angel came to me. She was white like shit. I just realized that sounded like she was white like shit. She was white like shit.
Biff, please, you must help me.
I went with her. To door on cabin number 1 was open. I look inside. I saw a student boy on floor. What happened here?
Please, don't tell anyone. My little one, my little furry friend.
Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. Kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Asogi's cabin. Tripped over it, broke his neck when he fell on the floor. Yes, that is right. So after the incident, when Kat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers. Only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said she'd worry when she hears sound of something falling on floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel. The door was not locked, so she opened to look, and you already know what happened after.
There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind.
What?
You went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova. Was he already dead? Why?
I already told you. When Nina opened door of student
I was asking Miss Pavlova.
Get him, Susato. Come on. Susato versus Stroganoff. 1v1 Monday Night Raw. Title match. Let's go! Let's go, Susato!
Oh, Miss Pavlova?
Da. Monday Night Raw at 7:30 Eastern.
Oh. Yes, that is right.
Is it right? Is it right? Is it right? Is it right? I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. Okay. Damage to cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. I can hear a faint whistling sound. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling in the ventilator grill. Okay, so the only question left is how they would know that I was in the wardrobe. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back, guys. Look at this beautiful picture of a Russian conspirator. Hello, everyone. Anyway, the more I look at this picture, the more I'm starting to see the resemblance between Naruhodo and Villain Bolshevik. Is Villain Bolshevik even relevant? Is he even relevant at all? Yes, revolutionary. Yes. Shave your beard. Okay. So I did a little bit of thinking while I was in the bathroom. And it is my belief that they said, oh, Kazuma was already dead when they went inside. I don't believe that. The reason I don't believe that is if they went inside, obviously this is conjecture. No, not conjecture. This is circumstantial. But you know what they say? Circumstantial evidence is better than no evidence at all, which is no one actually says that. I'm making that up. But it'll become mildly relevant in a future case. Villain Bolshevik is just like eating like ice cream. And he's just like in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yes, I witnessed murder while I was eating ice cream. Yo, that would be so hilarious. Okay, so this is my belief. I don't believe they would have a specific reason to go into their Kazuma's room and like investigate, right? Generally, when somebody does something wrong, they want to get as far away as possible, as quickly as possible, right? So, okay, we need to rearrange the crime scene. Go, we're done, leave, right? That would include not bothering opening the wardrobe. Why would you bother opening the wardrobe? Because the wardrobe is private. They probably don't care, right? What they want to do is they want to rearrange the crime scene and leave. So, writing the word wardrobe is very specific. They could have just left him alone. But the fact that they wrote wardrobe in Russian, first of all, that was very stupid. They probably could have gotten away with it if they just removed the glass and that was it. They didn't do anything else. But that tells me that the only way they could, not the only way, but one, it's reasonable to conclude that Kazuma made some sort of motion to the wardrobe because he would know what was inside the wardrobe. They probably finding the other half of the bell. I mean, they know that the bell was there and they removed it. The question is, did they enter the room when Kazuma was still alive? Or were they dead? Sounds like they were rushed. I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. Ah! I saw him. It was dark. You don't get a hi today, Arcade. Hello, Arcade. He was wearing black, but he was on floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand. And I believe you. I don't. So is that finally it? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Ah! Something very nearly slipped my mind. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know, I'm very smart. The cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate accident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, There is one particular area in this photograph that seems to me somewhat unnatural. What do you mean, unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? And by some terrible stroke of bad luck, he broke his neck. Which part of the photographic print seems unnatural? Are we finally going to reference the fact that his hand was gripping something?
Yes!
Alright. If he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist doesn't seem quite right. Dang, he was boxing up strong enough. Come on! Come on, Biff! The exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Palms. The palms. How do you say palms? Dang it, English. Palm. 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 Oh, palm. Is to open the palms flat. It seems I jumped the gun back there. Wait. You mean me? Me jumping? Yes! I freaking predicted this like 20 years ago! Yes, what the frick, man? Palms. Thank you, Arcane. If Stroganoff was upside down. What are these? They look like numbers. And yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. As though he were gripping something.
Huh?
What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist in a short while ago. Did he open it up? Did he find something inside? You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow? Mr. Sholmes? Show us, please! Why, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in Yes! This is what I found. Ah! He found a freaking earring? Or some jewelry? He found some sort of jewelry thing? It might have been an earring, it might have been a necklace.
Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle?
Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. Very pretty. It did tell us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it before. Observation, Mr. Naruhodo! That is the key! What? The truth is now tantalizingly close! Sholmes, are you having fun? Yes! This is so exciting! How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist? This is the final clue. The last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe! Find the answer with your own eyes! Oh! What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Oh!
She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair. Like little...
Now's not the time to simp for the Russian girl. Oh, what's that? There's something dangling down from her ear.
Yes, that's an earring.
Wait, look! It's a crescent moon! There can be no doubt, surely. It was you! Biff! Stroganoff's chunky arms! He has arms like tree trunks, doesn't he? Hairy tree trunks. Yes, he certainly has sailor arms. He's born the man of the sea. But it's hard to see how they could do anything like crescent moon. Sometimes things are relevant in ways that it's hard to imagine. Maybe you should check. No, these are tree trunks. Nothing more. As the Japanese say, "Owari da."
Yes!
Miss Pavlova, on your ear there. I see you have a crescent moon as well. Oh, wait, has Hosonaga just been standing here just in awe of the whole thing? Oh. What?
Oh no.
And on your other ear, there seems to be a crescent moon missing. Hosanaga's probably the smartest one. He's just sitting back, just enjoying the show. The little link holding it must have been broken, I suppose. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there is only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Asogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear when he fell. Perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. I can't believe it. Sholmes solved the case. This idiot solved the case. Am I the idiot? Am I the idiot, not him? I'm having a midlife crisis right now. He was pushed. She pushed him. Remember how you guys were saying, like, oh, how did he break his neck? And I said, well, you know, if he just fell in an awkward way. Yes, but he didn't just fall in an awkward way. He fell in an awkward way with some force. Oh my god, I'm the stupid one. She pushed him. You're a monster. In other words, last night, in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell over with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length. But why? Yeah, why would she do that? I can imagine. She comes in. Kazuma's holding the cat with a sword. Don't take a step closer, or the cat gets it. No, my friend. It's over, beef. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it clenched in his fist during his final moments? He was looking for balance. He was trying to grab onto something, and the closest object was her.
Oh no!
Pavlova had a John Wick moment. Angel! No one can protect you now. Dang, you don't have to go so hard. Nothing can save you now. Jeez. She's a 15-year-old girl who's been abused her entire life. My God, man. Your Honor, my client pleads. Oopsie daisy. That is a big oop moment. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Damn. My client pleads. It was a prank. God damn it, you guys.
When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it's too much. Running away, fishing boat in the night, trying to climb out a huge ship. And then, when I last at the cabin, I could relax after a horrible long day. Taka, wait!
Not the sad music. Maybe out of fear. I guess we'll see what she has to say.
I couldn't believe when she disappeared through ventilator. I tried to call with little whistle. I tried waving favorite toy, but nothing worked. Taka will not come back.
I knew it. So she went to the other side and knocked on the door. That's what a logical person would do. And she probably wasn't expecting someone to open. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. And that's why she killed him. Because she's a stowaway. That's why she killed him. Oh my God. It was a misunderstanding. She thought Kazuma would report her to the inspector, not realizing that the inspector literally has nothing to do with the Russian government. Oh my God, this can't be happening.
The young man from your country was very polite and kind. He helped me find Taka. He promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had friend in arms again, and I was going to leave man's cabin.
Just a moment. Sorry, but...
Oh, yes?
I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. That's when he showed her the newspaper, and she freaked out. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina.
No. I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could man from Far East know a Russian ballerina?
Yeah. I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of a ballet made a deep impression on me. What are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment.
I can't fool him. I have to tell him truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no choice.
I see. You've run away.
Please, please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone.
Give me a moment. I can use another opinion here.
He's going to pull the cord. He's going to tell it.
He wasn't looking at the cord!
He was looking at me.
I'm going to cry. I am going to freaking cry.
Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait! I shout. And then Taka jumped out of my arm and down to young man's feet. And as he turned around to look at me, I push him. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I did. I was just so scared.
I don't even know how to approach this, man. What punishment is right? I don't know. Yeah, some sort of fear, but it's very specific fear. It's just, I don't know.
And I had to stop him from telling anyone.
Because she thought he was going to tell the inspector, who she didn't know. So inspector might have been... But he was just... You know what will happen? But this scene is sad. This scene is sad, man. This... I cannot believe it. In his last moments, he was putting his faith in me. I cannot believe this. And that was when you went to fetch help. From Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out on the sod on the floor. I ran to her. She's standing in cabin door, shaking like leaf. Look at me and say,
Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be... I have nowhere to go.
so you decided to help. Is it okay to feel bad for both? Absolutely. At the end of the day, they're all victims. They're just victims of different things, and unfortunately, as a result, someone died. I'm not saying Nicolina's blameless, but it's also not completely not understandable, if that makes sense. That's when you arranged Kazuma's things and made it look like it did, so that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door. Yes. I went to cabin and look around to make sure was nothing to show Nina was there. But you missed the bell. And then I found stowaway and wardrobe still sleeping. That was when he found me.
So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the stowaway.
Probably their justification was because I'm a stowaway, I'm not entirely innocent either. So they probably felt a lot better putting the blame on me than on some other random innocent person. I closed wardrobe, put back on strange paper sign. Right, because he can't read it. Lucky for me, that's the only reason Susato started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged young man's body to good place. Use ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote... so the person would look inside wardrobe and find stowaway. And tell me, what of the glass bell?
It was by my feet, so I pick up.
I see.
But it was dark in cabin. I didn't notice other half.
Then Angel went back to cabin and I finished the job. By pressing the emergency alarm button. Yes. Da. Accordingly, the SS Burya did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova.
Why?
Well, you said that you told Kazuma the fact that you'd run away from your homeland. Because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right?
Yes.
But even if I had pulled the cord for the... been called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? But she doesn't know the inspector that he talked about. Why would that have been a problem?
It was what he said first that made me scared.
What he said first? Inspector. I thought it was a friend of mine.
He said an inspector was his friend.
Yes. Meaning me. Who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard.
I thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull bell cord, May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It's just... doesn't seem to make any sense. I mean, was Mr. Asogi going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain. But... he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, he wouldn't have done that.
No, he was walking to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There is still one more deduction to make. another. What action was the victim really about to take at that moment? Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed?
Oh, don't play this music.
First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. That cabin's been my home for the entire voyage. So this is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama? That's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo? If there's one thing I've learned today, it's that a single gaze can reveal all manner of truths. But in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you follow the gaze to where it lands. So when he turned to Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? Don't do this.
Take that!
Considering everything that had happened last night.
Certainly it may have looked that Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yes. However, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe.
The wardrobe.
And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly.
God damn it. I hate this game.
Miss Pavlova, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night? Give me a moment. I can use another opinion here.
Another opinion.
Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if, between them, they might be able to help in some way. No doubt.
Oh no.
Sadly, can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Asogi was looking at. Things may have ended up differently if you had. Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you never forget that.
I'm sorry. Really? I'm so sorry. What have I done?
And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Burya was laid to rest. What will happen to Miss Pavlova then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort that all out. Man, is Sholmes gonna do that for her? What a dude. Mr. Sholmes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia then. Does she just go right to jail? Like when she gets to Britain? I mean, a year in jail isn't awful, I guess. 15, I get you're really young, but... No, I don't think so. At least she isn't forced to go back to Russia. Even if she wants to return in the future, I doubt she's able to. She ran away, so now she's exiled. Is that how the Russian law is at this era? Maybe. This game knows how to squeeze your tears and I hate it, man. I see. I'm sorry. Seaman Stroganov? I want to help Angel. No matter what. But I don't think about you. How you lost good friend. I go with Nina. I give myself to British police. Hey, at least she'll have someone to take care of her. Maybe they'll serve sentence together. Things will work out. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Cosmo's death feels like such a waste, but... well... the ending is very bittersweet. Yeah, man. Hey, how's it going, Robin? This ending hurts, man. This... it's like no matter what happened, it would be a bad ending, so... this is like the best bad ending, and it hurts. It's like... just because you got the good ending doesn't necessarily make you feel good, you know? Doing the right thing doesn't always feel good. What can you do? Do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Nah. You know what? I'll treat you to a beer when you get out, okay? If they're going to jail in UK, and we're going to UK, I don't know if it's called UK in this era, but Britain, England, maybe we can all hang out again later when they get out of jail. I really hope they're not hanged, because there was a lot of... they were very trigger happy back in the day. I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. What? Wait, I thought we were going to UK. Oh, right, I'm a freaking stowaway. I have to hand you over to Consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes. I did stow away. Couldn't really expect anything different. So, you should get back to cabin now. Hey, the chicken's still there. Looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it even began. To think that only 2 days ago, Cosma and I were laughing together about how we'd tear up the streets of London. Stop! Stop! Ah! It hurts! Seems like a distant memory now. Oh. What's that? What's what? Is it? Someone weeping? Don't check on Susato. Just let her be. No, just leave. Just leave. Let her have her own time. You idiot. It's okay. People aren't very good at handling death. I can't expect Naruhodo to know how to handle this. Oh, the sword.
I didn't know you returned.
This was the time of Imperial... Yeah, this was before, way before communism. Well, not way before, but reasonably before communism, so... I mean, I believe exile might be a very real thing, but I'm not sure. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. Oh. She's been holding it in for so long. Oh, gosh, I don't think I saw her cry once.
I still can't believe this happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over. Just like that.
Susato? Let her be.
I had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been taken away. Just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth. That it was an accident. A series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruhodo-san. Just too much.
Yeah. I know. I wish there was something I could say. Oh.
Inspector.
My duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain. But I failed. And I caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. And Hosonaga must... Man... It's like, can you imagine if your job was to protect this guy's life, and then a meteor just crashes on him? And it's like, you failed with absolutely no responsibility. It doesn't change the fact that you failed. Oh, man. Nobody blames you, Inspector. And I'm free again. Sholmes! Surprised, Mr. Naruhodo! What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry? so I decided to restore them, for old time's sake. Shall we say. You are a stowaway, after all. After all. He thinks this is funny. Mr. Sholmes? We do appreciate all your assistance. The comic relief we needed. No, this is the comic relief we deserved. Pain and suffering and misery. In another universe, Naruhodo is strangling him. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Not at all. Not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincerest condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heart-rending. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port, in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. Wait a minute! It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I'm the stowaway. The terms of this study tour were negotiated by Department of Justice in Great Britain and Japan. One lawyer, one assistant. Was to be? In the light of Mr. Asogi... Hey, I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. I'm afraid study tour can no longer go on ahead. Oh. I don't care for me, but... Susato-san. My dear fellows, the majority of the problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer. Qualifications! Oh, qualifications, smallifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Yes. Come on, Ryunosuke. Step up to the plate. Miss Susato? Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? No, you're an idiot! But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh. Are you studying law? I mean, to be fair, he defended himself in court pretty successfully. No, I'm not. I'm actually doing, I don't know, what is a useless degree? I'm studying arts, Kiyoma! Aren't you an artist? Aren't you an artist? I'm not, but Phoenix wanted. Oh, Phoenix did kind of want to be. I think he did. Canonically, he's doing English literature. I mean, that's not far off. In that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. If he's studying English literature, that's already a step above everyone else who probably doesn't even know English. But as I said, there's still a month more time before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a month of time to study, to learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain. Don't worry, you're roasting yourself. Akiyoma taking shots at artists. Mr. Naruhodo? That's ridiculous! Are you seriously suggesting anyone could learn all of that in just 40 days? I mean, to be fair, the legal system in this era is probably way simpler than the legal system in our current era. So, art is crazy. Hey, how's it going, Siren? It's only one way to find out! I'll work my fingers to the bone, Inspector. Every single day. By the time we reach Britain, if I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. Excuse me? Execution! But why put yourself in such a difficult position? How to Become a Lawyer in 40 Days. The new book by Ryunosuke... How to Become a Lawyer in 40 Days. The new book by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What is it? Sponsored by the British Republic. Learn everything you need to know about law. Find British law in Lawyer in 40 Days. In Barnes & Nobles and other bookstores everywhere. For Kazuma. He said there was something he had to do in Great Britain. Law for dummies. And that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let that passion just come to nothing. And it's for my own benefit, too. How to study fast. How to study goodly. I'll become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Susato? Isn't she familiar with law? I mean, kinda. She's like, what they call her a judicial assistant? Probably, what is it? Someone who does like, kind of like legal, like works and legal, like a special legal secretary, I guess. Phoenix definitely has that book. I think it's a wonderful idea. Oh, I don't think I have seen her smile. Oh. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? Now, one lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness. Oh, yet fascinating. Wouldn't you agree? Fascinating. Sholmes, I hate you. Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest. Give us fascination. Speak for yourself! Besides, qualifications are no measure of man. Oh, besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? This is Ace Attorney! And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today, with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until the very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to earn my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector! After all, I did make a promise, didn't I? Oh, that's true. What is it? They did have like a Law for Dummies book. Oh, they also had Law for Dummies in the very last case of the very first game. Rise from the Ashes, I think. I said I'd do anything to make up a shortcoming here. Like, they're like Law for Dummies. Like, rule number 1, evidence must be relevant, or something like that.
Oh, thank you, Inspector.
Dang, like, has Phoenix gotten like 6 different copies of like Law for Dummies from different people? If you excuse me, I must pay a visit to Captain Coulter, I think. I need to discuss what to do next. How to make my report. They're all different editions.
Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm gonna try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer.
I'd be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all.
Thank you. That's what fills up his bookshelf. The Law for Dummy Encyclopedia.
And Mr. Naruhodo? I'd like you to take charge.
Oh!
Me? Are you sure?
We are literally just gonna carry around Kazuma's soul everywhere.
I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. It's the great sword that's been the Asogi clan for generations.
Very well. I accept. I'll treasure it always. He's gonna cut through those words.
So then, Mr. Sato, it seems we'll be working together for some time. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study.
Yes! That's exactly what I need!
Before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you too.
What is it?
Please throw me to the ground.
I'm not gonna do that.
What? I should have never doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would have never done anything to hurt him. It should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. No matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior.
No, you were in shock. Just found out about me stowing away.
The cabin door was... No! I won't let you make excuses for me! Whatever the circumstances, I should have never thrown you.
And not once, but she threw me 5 times throughout that. That number keeps on creeping up, doesn't it?
Please, you must! Take hold of me and throw me. Don't even think about it.
No, I don't even know how. I never thrown in my life. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess, I was most impressed. Sholmes? Sholmes? Stop that! When did he see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling.
In a way, it's not wrestling, but my interpretation of an ancient jujutsu technique.
Apparently it's called the Susato takedown. Leaves your head swimming. Believe me. How beguiling. I am a practitioner of the combative arts myself. Oh, come on, square up, Susato. Let's throw hands. I am somewhat an accomplished boxer. Oh, this is called the Macarena Fist. Ha! There he goes. Dancing around again. I wonder if you'll be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. Stop. Stop. Because if... Stop. Susato?
Yes, I'd be honored.
Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Susato?
Oh, of course.
Susato! Wait! Wait, Susato, no! Ah, I hate my life! Naruhodo slowly looks into the camera. I'm going to die.
As you can see, you throw from the abdomen.
Oh, yes, arresting indeed. And that is what you call you term the Susato takedown.
Actually, no, that was a Susato squash.
In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. German suplex. Karuma. No. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking katana on a study tour is more than irregular. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. And I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what it was. I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. In the meantime,
No, that technique is all wrong, Mr. Shum.
oh right, show me again. Ah! What will we find in London? Find out next time. This game hurts, man. I mean, sorry, I have to go British. This game hurts. Honestly. This is not an easy playthrough sometimes. But I think I'm slowly starting to get the hang of it. Slowly I'm able to figure out the Herlock Sholmes logic and reasoning deduction. And I think my British accent is getting a little bit more fluent. Right, I'm actually trying very hard to voice Sherlock Holmes in a very different way than I normally talk. You could hear that I voice Sherlock Holmes like this. He has this kind of music to him because I want to, like, you know, get practice with, you know, doing this British accent in lots of different ways. So I hope you all don't mind that I sometimes have to stop and look up the way words are pronounced, so on and so forth. Trust me, the Sherlock deductions will get crazier and crazier. I hope not. I hope we never see this man again. I hate him. I hate him so much. Yeah, but I'm curious to see what other British people we get to meet. I probably will completely flub some of the accents. What was I saying? Like, oi! Oi! I'll see you at the bloody tavern, wank! I cannot do that accent. East End accent. Sholmes best lad. Sholmes is pretty high up there. I also hate him. I will say actions have consequences, and they give really good, and they are really good about giving weight to some of these characters. I do really like that. I do really like how the characters don't just randomly just appear for the sake of appearing, at least for the first 2 chapters, with the exception of Ouchie, which, screw Ouchie? I mean, Ouchie is a victim of circumstance, let's be real here. There's one character with a Scottish accent. Will guide you to pronounce birth properly. I know that Cockney has a lot of slang that I have no idea what any of it means. Wee laddie is a wee lad. Right. So as you guys know, I do accent training, so I've been very focused on British accents, the London British accent lately. So I'm probably going to spend several years further to study the British accent, and then maybe I'll pick up another accent or something as well. But right now, I'm feeling pretty happy with where I stand with my British accent. It took a long time, to be honest. It took a long time to be able to get these phonemes correct. It was frustrating at times, but I think I sound pretty good, don't you think? I think I sound pretty good. I suppose the one thing that I might not be so convincing is that I'm a little bit too energetic for a British person. You know, British people are very often more calm. Even when they're yelling at people, they're very calm. If you've ever compared a British Karen to an American Karen, have you ever compared a British Karen and an American Karen? The British Karens are always like, oh well, why are you? They're always like scolding you, but the American Karens are always yelling at you. When I grow up, I want to be a British Karen. They're very rowdy British people too. Yes, but I think more stereotypically, the rowdiness is associated not with this particular accent that I'm currently working on. But definitely there are some rowdy British people. Probably more East End, East Londoner style of person. The type of British person that doesn't pronounce their H. But it's the type of British person that pronounces their pronounces their TH sound with an F sound. Cloves! Oi, that's a lot of cloves! I imagine a British parent pulls up a teapot and throws it at the store clerk. Right, but Yes, I've been cast quite a bit for some fantasy roles, and a lot of fantasy roles really like this particular accent, the London standard accent, which is why I focused on this one first. If you for example, if you played the game Hades, Hades just recently came out, and and you'll notice that a lot of Hades characters have a blend between a British accent and kind of like a toned down transatlantic accent, which is why I wanted to focus on this accent first. As with Americans, the volume of their voice is directly proportional to how much alcohol is consumed. Right. After one mug of beer, it's just bloody wanker. And after 10 mugs of beer, bloody wanker! Oh, are you metal? You can go to the special content section in the game to experience the voice lines by the voice actor. Oh, really? Did they voice the entire game? I don't think they... Well, they probably didn't voice the entire game, but yes, I listened to the accent. The accent is so interesting because they found I think it was Robin. You were the one who told me that they found a Japanese man and a Japanese woman who lived in London. Is that right? To be the voice of this. So I listened to some of the cutscenes, and the cutscenes are really interesting because they have the Japanese-ness about several consonants. So R sounds and L sounds and so on and so forth, but they also have some of the British vowels, which are not very common in Japanese. As you might know, Japanese only has 5 vowels. There are several Japanese British people. Yes, that is so interesting. Yes, that is so interesting. They might have an accent that talks a little bit like this, where they are treating their consonants more Japanese, but their vowels are still within the realm of British. So it's kind of interesting. It's really interesting, to be honest. I think it's so interesting because I've never heard an accent like that. I've never heard an accent like that. I've never heard an accent like that. So, right, it's I also know a British. No, I know a someone who grew up in Los Angeles, but their family is from Britain, is from London. So she has this weird hybrid accent that I've never heard in my life. That sounds almost like what is it? I like to ask you a question. Something like that. I like to ask you a question. I like to ask you. I don't know, but it's so fascinating. Right, I think Sauron mentioned earlier that some of the pronunciations that I was looking up sometimes change based on region or upbringing. So, for example, I say things like example, cast, ask, fast, but some people might say example, ask, fast, cast. So the standard received pronunciation uses ask and cast and fast, but there might be some people who still say ask and cast and fast. So it's really, I think Sauron mentioned that earlier. So one other thing is the noticeable British accent is the R sound. Shows up in phrases like I saw it. Yes, I saw it. Yes, I saw it, or I knew it. Yes, I did actually study a little bit of that. It's called the invasive R, And it's very difficult phenomenon to master. And not everyone does it. Not everyone does it. It's so interesting. Like, some people say I saw it, and some people say I saw it. Oh, it's so interesting. That one is particularly interesting. I saw it. Yes, that is such a cool and interesting. Like, I was listening to someone who says things like I know for I know, and I heard is heard, but I heard I know it, which I think was so. It's been a while since I've really studied that particular aspect of the accent, and hearing someone say I saw it and I know it. Yes, so those are some really. It's really interesting. Like, as you all know, I can do generally a Japanese accent because I'm a Japanese speaker, and Japanese accents are pretty easy to do if you know how to speak Japanese, because you are mostly just using the same phonemes, but you're just mapping them to match the Japanese phonemes. So, for example, there is no V sound. So V is not something that most Japanese people say. So you don't hear the word very. So I'm going to switch to my American accent. So the word very, right? A lot of Japanese people only know the word be, so they say berry. So very, 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 very good. They don't say very, very good. But some people who have been practicing English long enough might be able to say very, very good. But the people who aren't very good at English will say very, very good. So that's an interesting one as well. They put R sounds, and they take them off. Like, yeah, water. Yeah, it varies. The R sound has definitely been difficult. I know for British speakers who do American accents, and for Americans who do British accents, the hardest sound is always the R. For British speakers, I love listening to some of the British actors try to do American accents. Some of them are good, some of them are not. But my favorites are when they over enunciate the R. So they say America, America. I'm reading. I'm reading. So like a word like water would be pronounced in a British person who doesn't have a very good American accent might pronounce it as water. Right? They really go the sound. They really like emphasize that water. The invasive R is hard to get rid of. I think it's really cool, to be honest. The where you throw in the R sometimes. I saw it. I know it. Because I think it's really cool because it's a very real way people talk. So I think people. It's how people talk, which I think is like accents are a way for people to talk. So like understanding that I think is a really cool aspect of psychology. I suppose a lot of what I do is like you can kind of consider voice acting like a subset of psychology. Right, I was watching a TV show on Netflix about British. It's a British TV show, but yeah, and it's really interesting because now that I've been practicing my accent for a while, I'm starting to recognize that's this type of accent. This is this type of accent. That's that type of accent. Whereas I used to think, oh, it's all British. It's just all British. So a bottle of water was the same to me. It was the same as a bottle of water. It sounded the same to me. Like it sounded the same to me for a very long time. My parents don't speak English and only speak Spanish. So hearing them speak the English R is interesting since they right because especially since you roll your R's, which I think I got it. I can only do it sometimes. But besides the point, right? Spanish speakers tap their R, right? So that type of sound, right? So and that's a very similar R to Japanese. Yeah, they don't. Spanish doesn't use the English R's. It's closer to the Japanese R than it is to the English R's or L's. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, a lot of my Japanese friends who speak English as a second language, they don't ever learn the R sound, the difference between the R and the L sound. They just go, leading. Like reading is reading, but it's also leading. Reading and leading to them is the same. Leading, right? But you know, so I don't know how you might do it in Spanish, but I suspect it'll be very similar because it's the same sound. The rough R. Well, when you have a countrified English, like the Somerset accent, I don't know the Somerset accent. Thank you for giving me something to look up. That wasn't sarcastic. That was actually serious. Let me see. Somerset accent? The V is replaced, like the V is replaced with B. I don't know about that for Spanish. The rough R. But yeah, that's definitely in Japanese. Every 6 months or so, you fell into a linguistic... Wait, really? Do you guys really? Because I think that's great, by the way. But yeah, I think that's awesome. What was I saying? Yeah, I have to look up the Somerset accent. I also know the Glaswegian accent. Like the very, very... I call it the overly Scottish accent because I don't know how to describe it. Spanish does use V? Okay. Right, the Glaswegian. I can't. I'm gonna make fun of it. Yeah, but I cannot believe we are having a linguistic conversation right now in a Phoenix Wright or in Ace Attorney stream, because I think that's great. Do that with a character. What you music? What are the only phrases I know for Scottish phrases? The only one I can think of is top of the morning. Oi, top of the morning! I can't even do that right. Scottish phrases. Pure dead brilliant! Oh, someone's trying to call me. Dr. Geoff Lindsay has a lot of videos about a British accent. Oh, interesting. Is it like an analysis? Geoff Lindsay. Lindsay. Oh, he's an actual linguist. Interesting. Oh, cool.
Before we begin...
I found his page. Anyway, I better get going. I need to call the person who just called me. I need to type up some stuff. I need to get... Oh, it's Taco Tuesday, baby! Yeah! I need to get me some tacos! Anyway. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. It's always a blast. Somerset accent. I will look that up as well. And now it is time for me to eat. Thanks so much, guys. It's always a blast playing Ace Attorney games with you, or these types of games with you, because we get to be silly and fun and cry half the times. But thanks. So, time for me to get food. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. If you have any questions for me, I will see you all next time.